Welcome to the first episode for our xTool F2 Ultra UV beginner engraving series. In this series, I am going to be taking you through lots of different common engraving blanks, showing you the best settings and how to set up your designs using xTool Studio with this amazing laser. If you're a beginner or you're new or you just want to learn something new, then you're in the right place because I'm going to take you through the full process. In today's episode, we are going to be going through Slate coasters and how to achieve a high contrast, beautiful white design on the slate using this laser right here. I'm going to go through the material selection. I'm going to go through material placement in the laser. Then we're going to move over to xTool Studio and perform our autofocus. Then I'm going to show you how to import your design, how to find your design, and then finally material settings and onto the engraving itself. So if you want to learn that and you want to be able to do this yourself, stick around and we will get straight to it. I wanted to start off by telling you about Slate coasters. So you can buy these from most shops pretty cheap. And if you buy them in bulk, they're cheaper. They usually come in two different shapes, circular and square. And as you can see, they come with nice little coaster bits on the bottom to give it a bit of grip. So this is what we're going to be using today. In particular, I'll be going through the circular one with a nice design. So let's move on to the next stage. In terms of placement, you can just place it right in the middle of your bed and you're absolutely fine doing that. I will be using my self-centering jig today, and that's purely because I just like a guaranteed repeatable position. There are also jigs that allow you to place multiple of these in different positions so you can batch engrave, but we'll be doing one at a time today. It is also good practice to manually focus your laser before you do it, and that is a case of joining those two dots together. We'll be doing that with the arrows on our touchpad. We're going to press the down arrow and you will see it will join those dots together, and now we're good to go. Let's move over to xTool Studio. So here we are in xTool Studio. The first thing we want to do is go to the top right and click on that new project button, which we will be doing now. You should then hear a beep behind me and it will connect to our machine as it's done there. And what it should do is also automatically refresh the background image and we can see our slate coaster placed in the jig ready to go. Now we have already manually focused, but what I will say is you can come over to the right here and there is a auto measure button. If you click that, which I will do right now, what it will do is turn the lights off on your F2 Ultra. It will automatically take its own measurement and then it will update the image. I do find with mine personally, I get a darker image at first, but if you click on the camera icon there again afterwards, it should refresh it with a lighter image. So now that we have everything set up, we have our laser focused, we're going to import our image. So the way we will do that is on the left side here, there is a plus import icon. Click that, it will open up a Windows window or a Mac window and then find your image here. So I'm using an SVG, which is a vector image. You can also do text. The settings we're going through today are perfect for those. And in particular, I have something I have found earlier here. So I want to just show you quickly how I got this design, because if you're new to laser engraving, you might not know where to get your designs from. So this is something I got from Creative Fabrica, which I'll quickly show you now. So this is Creative Fabrica. It is a website that has a full database of images, vector files, laser cutting files, 3D printing files. It's got a lot in there. It is a subscription-based website and I personally do pay to use it, but that's because all of the files on it are advertised as commercially usable. So I would say always look into the fine print of the image you're downloading, but you can in theory sell the images that you're getting from this and engraving onto things. The way it works is I would, for example, type into the search bar Coffee SVG because I want an SVG vector file. They're very laser friendly and there are lots of different designs. As you can see, if we wanted this one, for example, we would select it, just click the green download button, and then in the top right, you'll see it will just download a folder. And in that folder, there is normally a zip file with various different things in there. And that's it. Simple as that. So now that we're back into xTool Studio, I did want to say, by the way, if you're interested in Creative Fabrica, check out the link in my description. I've got it there for you to get an easy access. It is an affiliate link. So let's move on. So what we're going to do now is roughly position our coaster image. And what I will say is I think coasters are generally 100 millimeters in diameter or square. And I always try and keep it within, if I zoom in here, you get like a little ruffled edge part, like a tapered edge. I always try and keep the design within that. And going back to the jig jig that I mentioned. Now, the reason I like using the jig is if I line this item up centrally, or if I use also a line center, you'll see my jig has made sure that coaster is centrally positioned, so I don't have to faff around with the adjustments. That's why I like using a jig in this case. So what I tend to do is I size them to about 90 millimeters, and that usually will sit nicely within the top surface of that coaster. Once we've done that, we can then move on to the next step. The next step is to frame our design manually onto the actual coaster to make sure it fits. Even though we're using a camera, the camera is not 100% accurate, and I always recommend manually framing. To do that, if you go over to the right hand side, you will see a framing button there. Click those three dots. In this case, I will use an outline because we've got a circular object. We want a circular outline as opposed to rectangular, where it would show the actual square or the rectangular or the square outline of the actual image itself. So click on outline, then click on framing, and now we'll move over and we'll take a look. As you can see, our framing is looking good in this case, so I'm not going to adjust anything. We're now going to move back over and get our material settings lined up. Before we get to those material settings, I just want to say, if you would like to support the channel and have more of these great videos, then please subscribe because it allows me to push forward and make more of these. Also, if you want to become an L3D supporter, join the channel down below. You get early access to videos, discount to all of our jigs, and also access to me, as well as a beautiful little badge next to your name. So feel free to do that. Let's get on with the video. So now that we know it's positioned correctly, we can now apply the material settings. What I will say is you can use the xTool material library, which is up here, and they do have their own Slate coaster settings. I used them. I thought it was a bit of a dull finish, so I've come up with my own specific key settings, and make sure you follow along to get those. So in that case, I have set up my own Slate coaster setting in there. If you want to learn how to do that, check out the videos on our tutorial pages on our YouTube page. I've shown exactly how to do that. So we're going to click apply, and then what we will do is select our image, and I have already set this up. So let me share these settings with you. So I recommend using 100% power, 300 speed, 550 lines per centimeter, and 128 kilohertz. So the reason they are so specific is I've done my own material testing, and that is what came out nice. There is a high lines per centimeter, which will mean it will be a bit slower, but you'll get greater results because of it. So now that we have our settings and we have framed it, we are now ready to move over to the processing. The way we do that is down here, you'll see the black process bar. Click on that, then it will bring up this window and it will give you an estimated time. And in this case, it is going to come up very shortly, 11 minutes 55. Like I said, it is a slow engrave in this case. You could speed it up by reducing your lines per centimeter, but I recommend if you want a really contrasting image with the fine detail of the F2 Ultra UV, then stick with these settings. So click on the start button. It's going to beep. Now we can move over and we can see how it comes out. Before we do start, I just want to explain safety. So I am going to be engraving with this up just to make it as clear as possible for you guys, but I will be using safety glasses. Make sure you either close the lid down or wear UV laser safety rated glasses. Also, I have extraction out the back of mine because it will produce fine particles. So make sure you have those two things set up. Let's proceed. So there you have it, an absolutely spectacular contrasting coaster right there. I'm sure you'll agree, those settings are absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to thank you for watching today and say if you would like to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, please even comment below if you do it and let me know your results. I also want to let you know if you're interested in getting an xTool F2 Ultra UV or any other xTool machine, check out the affiliate links down in our description. There is also a discount code and it really supports the channel and allows me to continue making these great helpful videos for you. So thank you so much for watching today. Until the next one, have a great day.